Ah, yes, another year come to an end, filled with many different products.
Now we're going to go through and tell you our best picks for the best Star Wars products of this year. I'm Jacob.
I'm Jackson.
And I'm Tommy.
Welcome back to Teeka's Trading Post. Let's get right into it. Starting off with some Black Series. For me, my honorable mention of this year is gonna be the Halloween Clone Trooper. I know this isn't a favorite for a lot of people, but personally, I think a Halloween theme is great for the Black Series, and I like that they really deep dove on this figure to get something from that Galactic Heroes game that came out on the Wii all the way back around 2010. That was a game that I played as a kid and I really enjoyed, but apparently it's the worst rated Star Wars game on Steam. But regardless, this is a really cool figure and I really liked it. And for my number one pick of the Black Series this year, I'm picking ARC Trooper Fordo from the Tarkovsky Walmart Wave. This figure is awesome. I absolutely love the molding. I'm a slut for phase one, I gotta say. I love how this helmet looks. I absolutely love how the build of this figure looks, the color, the proportions on this just looks fantastic. I'm a huge fan of it, and this is getting my number one spot for this year.
So for myself, for the Black Series, I had a very hard time picking a number one, so I am going to give you my top three for this year. So my number three spot is going to the Dark Trooper from The Mandalorian. This is an amazing deluxe figure that we got. I really enjoy the fact that it has the punching hands versus the hands to hold its blaster, and then it can do this pose specifically. This was something I wanted the Wrecker Deluxe figure to do, so I was a little bit disappointed when it couldn't. This does it perfectly. Overall, it's just an amazing droid figure. So my number two spot is going to the Bad Batch Cad Bane. So this is a figure that I was absolutely blown away with compared to everything else that came out. Its posability is outstanding. The way he's able to grab his hat, hold his blasters, and do all sorts of different action poses. I don't really have a whole lot else to say besides the fact that I really enjoyed getting this figure. I opened it up and played with it a whole lot longer than I had expected. In my number one slot is going to the Battlefront Jet Trooper that we got from GameStop. Now, if you watched some of our live streams earlier this year, I had a very overhyped reaction to this figure because I was very excited that we were getting some sort of Clone Wars Battlefront action figure, but I absolutely love this. Posability, detail, everything about it is just amazing. It's perfect. So it takes my number one spot.
My number one Black Series figure for the year goes to none other than the Death Watch Mandalorian. Clearly, this is the surefire winner of the Black Series for the year because the articulation is perfect. It is a rework of the shortcomings of the old Mandalorian sculpt, and it is overall just a fantastic figure that they'll be able to use again and again, so it deserves the number one spot from me.
Moving on to some itty bitty figgies, the TVC collection, my number one pick for this year is the Deluxe Boba Fett from the Book of Boba. This figure is absolutely awesome. Actually has a really nice likeness to Tamira Morrison. Lots of cool accessories, and yeah, it comes in that plastic-free packaging box, but the coolness of the figure makes up for it, in my opinion. Number one pick this year.
My top pick for TVC this year had to go to all three of the Battlefront ARC Troopers that we got. We were blown away when this was announced, and I'm so happy to have all three in my collection now.
My number one pick for the TVC line is the Battlefront 2 Lambent Seeker ARC Trooper. And the reason I picked this one specifically is because out of the three, I think this one has the coolest card back. He's not holding any extra weapons or anything like that. He is exactly as you get him in game. I was really excited to see when these came out because I love Battlefront 2 so much. We play it a ton in our community if you join our Discord. And yes, this one is my favorite for the year.
Coming in for some Sideshow and Hot Toys picks, another controversial pick coming from me. I'm voting on the animated Anakin Skywalker from Sideshow. Now, when this initially got revealed, everybody loved it. And then when they came out with the physical in-hand pictures of this, everybody started to hate on this figure just because it didn't look like the initial release photos. But having this in hand and looking at this and actually having it in direct lighting makes it look fantastic. The sculpt on it is great. The only gripe I have with it is the eyes look a little bit hollow. But then again, this is an amazing figure, and this is getting my number one for 2022.
My number one pick for Sideshow this year is going to go to Hunter from the Bad Batch. Now, I was absolutely blown away when I got this recently. It was a Christmas gift that Jacob had gotten me quite some time ago, and it had finally shipped. But the detail on it just blows me out of the water every time. The awesome ways that I can get it to pose compared to Django. Although he is my favorite character, Hunter has to take the slot for me. Absolutely in love with this figure.
My number one pick for Hot Toys this year was the Boba Fett with the throne. You can actually see him hanging out back above the 1313 logo. The reason I think this one is the best is because of the hyper detailed head. You have all these accessories that come with it, just too many accessories almost, which is such a great thing to say. And the throne looks fantastic. I love that you can pose Boba standing on the throne, kneeling on the throne, sitting on the throne, sleeping on the throne, so many things with the throne. And I'm very happy with this. And if you're looking to get your first Hot Toy, I would highly recommend this be your first.
Now, on to some Lego picks for the year. I am picking the Lego BD1 as my favorite set from this year. We were told initially that we were not going to get any sets coming from Jedi Fallen Order, but this set came out of left field, punched me in the face and said, "Look, it's BD1!" Probably my favorite droid make in all of Star Wars. I'm absolutely in love with this set. It was a lot of fun to build, and it's a really nice display piece, so I'm giving it to BD1. And no, this isn't because I haven't finished the ATTE yet.
My number one Lego pick for this year is going to the Lego ATTE. Now, this is a set that I had always wished I had as a kid, and I never really got it just because I didn't save up money for myself when I was younger because I was stupid. But now I got this as a Christmas gift, and I just had so much fun making this. I have not owned a larger size Lego set in quite some time, so this is really the first larger piece I have just because I don't like to collect Lego that much, but this is the perfect size for the shelf that I have in my room, so I'm very, very excited to display it. The only gripe I have is that this gunner does not sit in a seat that holds him down, so you can kind of fall out sometimes if you're turning the main turret, but that's okay. It's awesome. Pick it up for yourself if you have not already.
And for my number one pick for Lego, I'm also, surprise, picking the Lego ATTE. Back in the day, I had the Captain Rex's Lego ATTE from Rebels, and I have always wanted to have a legit one. I do not have this yet, but I do plan on getting one at some point because looking at it in hand, it is very, very cool. So this gets my number one vote.
Now it's time for the worst part of this video, our Funko Picks of the year. I'm actually going to throw you a bone and say that my favorite Funko Pick of the year is the Umbra ARC Trooper Gaming Greats Pop Figure, exclusive to GameStop. This Phase 1 Umbra Trooper looks absolutely awesome. I actually really like the paint job on this a lot, and I'm not going to pick it up because I don't like Funko that much, but I do think it looks cool.
Here at the 1313 show, we really do hate Funko, and it is a very rare occasion where I pick up a Funko for myself, so that is why my number one spot for this year is going to the Amazon exclusive Sabine Wren. Sabine is a favorite of mine if you've been with us on the show for a while, and this was honestly the only Funko I deemed worthy enough to pick up this year. I pre-ordered it, and then I forgot I did, and then it came. So here I am with the Sabine Pop.
My number one pick for Funko this year is going to be the Amazon exclusive Power of the Force Ahsoka Tano as seen in Star Wars Rebels. I actually was really impressed when I saw this one. And again, we don't like Funko, but I saw this one. I thought it was really neat because this is one of my favorite looks of Ahsoka, and I really hope we get to see it in the new Ahsoka show. So this gets my thumbs up.
When it comes to Star Wars collaborations this year, I'm pretty sure it's pretty obvious which one we like the most. Columbia came out absolutely swinging haymakers with this absolutely awesome Clone Wars collaboration. It is such an awesome collaboration.
These sweatshirts are super warm, and although Jacob did spend that $500 on the coat, I did try the coat for myself, and I can testify and say that it is good quality, but it's not $500 quality.
It's $500 quality.
I'm not buying the coat.
It's $500
as far as I will
No, it's
go.
$500 quality. And an honorable mention is the Star Wars collaboration with DC Shoes. The snowboards and the skateboards are really cool.
And one of our most favorite collaborations of this year had to be with the amazing people in our Discord who create custom figures like the one that you were seeing here. I have one from Commander Cook. Tommy has one from
Lungy's Hideout.
I got one from Lungy's Hideout, and then we also have one from the very most talented
Your Casual Clothes.
Woo! So thank you to all of you amazing people in our Discord who do customs and who make such high quality and amazing figures.
So now we're going to switch it up a bit. We're going to talk about the worst of the worst for products this year. And in my opinion, the cake goes to the entire art series of Funkos. These are absolutely terrible. Do you want Darth Vader that looks like wood? Well, here you go. Who wants that? Nobody. If you want something that looks like wood, get a Geeky Tiki, because it's a mug, it's useful, and it looks nice. But not this garbage. This just looks like my dog pooped on a Funko. And guess what? That's pretty much what it is. They said, hey, graphic designer, create a template and we'll hydro dip all these Funkos in it. It's just a bad idea. I don't even know why they did it. And to all of you out there that buy the art series of Funko Pops, you deserve to be poor.
My top pick for the absolute worst product we had this year is going to go to every mini bust that Gentle Giant did. Holy cow, are these bad! Every time we talk about them on the show, it is a miss. It's almost like we shouldn't even mention them in the first place because they're not worthy Star Wars products to even bring up. In their newest edition of Zeb, looks like the Grinch. Everything just looks bad. Why would you spend money on this?
My absolute worst reveal for the year has to go to the Black Series Black Chrysanthemum Publishing figure. This isn't even Black Chrysanthemum. This is Black Chewbacca. This is nothing. It doesn't look anything like Black Chrysanthemum. They didn't. It's not even the right color. They just literally put a Wookiee in a black mold and then said, "Hey, let's just throw." Oh my God. Look at this. You see this right here? This armor, all this going on. There is no paint at all. Not even a zest of paint anywhere on this figure. What were you thinking, Hasbro? This was the biggest cash grab I think I've ever seen in the history of cash grabs. This is cringe, and I don't like it.
And now we're talking about the best reveal of the year. Now, this is something that hasn't come out yet or is starting to come out, but it isn't a physical product yet. And I'm hitting you with the 20th anniversary of the Clone Wars. Now, we kind of got skipped out on the Attack of the Clones, but that is okay. The movie, it's kind of mid, but we're not going to talk about that. Clone Wars is where it's at. So you know what this means. Clone repaints. Lots of them. It's exactly what we've wanted, and I can hope and I can plead and I can pray for a Phase 1 Rex to come out of this. We all grew up on Clone Wars here, as you can tell. We love it. So I am above and beyond excited to see what Hasbro is going to give us in the new year with all these Clone Wars reveals. Gotta stay tuned though to see what we're gonna get. But fingers crossed we're gonna get some absolute bangers in 2023.
My absolute #1 reveal of this year has to go to the Black Series Phase 2 Clone Trooper helmet that we were getting. Yes, there are some gripes in the community right now about the accurateness of this helmet and what it may look like and such, but for people like us or maybe other collectors in general who have never purchased a Clone Trooper helmet for themselves, now they can do so for an affordable price and then even take this above and beyond and make their own custom helmets from it. It is the absolute #1 thing that a lot of collectors have been asking for some time so that they can have their at-home clone army with their friends and family. I think this was an amazing decision by Hasbro to finally make and release, and I could not be more excited. I'm so happy to get mine, and depending on how much I enjoy it, I might just buy more.
If you pay any attention to our podcast, then you'll know that this is my favorite reveal of the year. The best reveal of the year for me is the Hot Toys ATRT with ARF Trooper at the 1/6 scale. I think this is the best reveal, not only because it helps flesh out your 501st Hot Toys Legion, but it is also a super, super cool vehicle, and it's something I've always wanted to see in the other scales of action figures, so this for me takes the cake.
But with that, thank you all so much for joining us this year and following along with Teeka's trophies, Teeka's trading posts, and all that jazz. Thank you so much for joining us this year and supporting the podcast. We appreciate each and every one of you. And if you haven't already and you're new here, please be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Join our Discord. And if you feel like going above and beyond and supporting the podcast, make sure to support us on Patreon. We have 3 tiers and 3 ways to support, and we do giveaways for our patrons at the beginning of each month. And January 1st, we have a spicy giveaway. Tommy, you want to tell them what that giveaway is gonna be?
At the drop of this video, you have 24 hours to join that Patreon of the Gungan Boss tier, because we are giving away not 1, but 2 Star Wars The Black Series figures. We are giving away the Walmart exclusive Phase 2 Purge Trooper and the Walmart exclusive 1JAC figure. So if you want both of those Walmart exclusives from the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, make sure you join that Patreon.
But thank you so much for watching this episode, and we will see you guys next year.
Goodbye, everyone!